Hey ladies, welcome to the Single Moms United podcast. I'm so glad you decided to drop by again and hear some tips for regarding parenting skills that I try to share with you to hopefully make your life a little better. Remember, this podcast is designed to make you think. It's not necessarily designed to say, oh, let me go out and do this, but let me think about that and how I can best incorporate what's being shared in my life to increase or enhance my parenting skills with my child or children as a single mom. If this is your first time joining, thank you and welcome. And if you're a loyal listener, definitely thank you. I certainly appreciate you stopping by and tuning in week over week. I know there's many other podcasts out there that you could be listening to today, but you decided to say, yeah, let me go over here and listen to Single Moms United. Let me see what she has to say. And I appreciate that. I really do. It really humbles me, and I appreciate it even more. If someone says, you know what, I actually thought about what you said, and I'm taking a different approach to my parenting skills as a result of what you had to share with me on your various episodes. And I tell you what, that would just send me to the moon to know that I helped at least one person just think about decisions and choices that they make and how they can incorporate that in their lives. This is not a one-size-fits-all, but a one-size-fits-most as a single mom. All right, so last week, my episode was about distraction reaction. Hopefully you found some value in that because, again, we're being judged on a daily basis. So no matter how we try to present ourselves in a manner of garnering respect from folks, they're still going to judge us. And part of that judgment comes from there being a distraction either with our attire or just things that we say, right, that would garner people to judge us inappropriately. All right. So with that said, we want to talk about generational curses. And some of that we may experience is because it's been handed down from one generation to the next. Oh my goodness. So Google defines generational curse as a habit or behavior that has been passed from one generation to the next. Parents strive to make sure that the life they lead will help their children live a better one. Children practice what they have learned on their own and what they have gathered from generations before them. Guess what, ladies? That's a true statement. Let's talk about some examples of generational curses. Drinking, or let's say excessive drinking. How about that? Everybody may have a taste of alcohol from time to time, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's when it becomes excessive and frequent. That's when it becomes an issue. Drugs. You may have had a father or a mother that have dealt with drugs because of something they may have seen from the generation before them. Think about that. Single parenting. Is it a curse? Well, it's designed to have, or a child should have, two parents in the home. But when it's just one parent trying to do it on their own, I would consider that a curse. Yeah, I would. I told my kids, be better than me. You know what it's like living in a single parent household. There should be a mother and a father. Because number one, having both parents there creates that balance when it's time to make critical decisions regarding discipline of the child and just raising the child, period. And again, I will say it, a boy needs his father. Yes, a girl does too, but a boy really needs his father to be active in his life. That's what's going to help create who he is as a young man, how to deal with different situations that occur in life that we as women cannot tell a young man. We would love to, but the reality is they need a male role model. One of the other things I told my kids, don't make me a grandma before I'm 50. Again, I didn't want to be a young grandma, if there's such a thing, and I think there is. And I would say a young grandma is someone below 50. To me, 40 and up in that age range, I think that's young. But that's just me. That's just me. So don't take offense to it if you're in that age range and you're like, what? Why can't I be a grandma at 40? That's just me. I just believe when you carry the title of grandma, you should be in that range where you've gotten all of your fun out of you. What I mean by that is going to the clubs or anything that young people do this day and age. Because now, as a grandma, you got to set that example. I know my grandmother, I saw her doing grandmother things, cooking, helping others out and different things like that. Even my own mom as a grandmother, she acted her age, and yes, she was an older grandma, but your grandchildren are still watching this as well. Because remember, we're talking about generational curses here, right? And we have to look to grandparents and see what they're doing and how they're carrying themselves. And so a young lady is a grandma and she's wearing shoulderless stuff. Again, your grandchildren are watching this and they see their mom dressed like that. They see their grandma dressed like that. Guess what? They're absorbing that because remember, children are visual and it's learned behavior. And so once they start seeing that, oh, okay, grandma's sexy, mama's sexy, I'm going to be sexy too, right? And so as a result of that, guess what? We're imparting or encouraging that generation to be just like us. When at some point in time, we have to incorporate and encourage respect of, okay, I'm going to put a sweater on. Okay, I'm not going out the house without a bra. I'm going to lower the heel on my shoe because now you're a grandparent. You're in a different light than what the mother is. Okay, a child could probably say, yeah, mom, she's doing that. And even as a mother, need to dial it back a little bit because young ladies are watching and our young men are watching. And imagine the message that you're sending to your son and to your daughter. Okay, because remember, we're looking at long term here. Short term thoughts or actions lead to long term reactions. Let me say that again. Short-term actions lead to long-term reactions. And long-term reactions are your children and what they see, what they embrace. And guess what? They adapt or adopt. And then guess what? Here we go with the cycle. That curse, that generational curse. Not only are we talking about alcohol, drugs, how we dress, how we carry ourselves, at some point through life, we have to modulate up. We have to upgrade. I heard a while ago, when you end a relationship with someone and you decide to get back into a relationship with someone, you should be upgrading from where you were in that last relationship. Now, I don't know how true that is and what that really does for you, because if you love that person and the love is there, how can you upgrade love? I don't know. Just my thought. Sorry, got off track a little bit. Again, ladies, we have to educate our children and teach them better about generational curses. And then break the cycle. We have to break the cycle. I had this conversation with my kids early on, and I guess they listened to me, right? Because I'm not a grandma yet. I'm not a grandma yet because children are not things. And a lot of times people ask me, oh, you're a grandma. No, no. And I don't want my kids to rush it. I want them to do it right. And right means having two people, a man and a woman, in that household to raise that child. Okay, period. That's the right way to do it. That's my expectation of them. And thankfully, because I had that conversation early with them, guess what? Where we are now. They're like, I'm living my life. I'm enjoying my life. Life is good. And they should get all of the partying out of their system. So when they do bring a child in the world, they can sit down and teach the child, right? No more of, I got to be in the streets. Need to come in out the streets. Breaking that cycle. Another generational curse is welfare, public assistance. It's okay to go on public assistance. Yes, I said it. It's okay to go on public assistance. What's not okay is to stay on it. That is where it becomes a curse. That's when it becomes a generational curse. Because if you saw your mom, your grandmom on public assistance, living in the projects, whatever it is, Section 8 and all of that, and they never tried to get off of it, that's a generational curse. And that's not okay. Public assistance is not designed to be long term. It's not designed to be long term. It's there to assist you to get you moving in the right direction. Okay, that's another generational curse. So, long story short, I know, too late. How do we break generational curses? And guess what? The answer is very simple. Educate early and often. I'll say that again. Educate early and often. And you know what your generational curse is. You know what it is. It may not be alcoholism. It may not be drug abuse. But you know what it is, that you've seen it from your grandma, your great-grandma, to your grandma, to your mom. You've seen it go down the line. And that's what you need to address with your children. That's the conversation you should have with your children. So again, ladies, to help combat and break the cycle of generational curses, educate early and often. And I guarantee you, long term, you're going to be like, I'm so glad I did this. I'm so glad that my child is doing better than what was presented to them. All right, ladies, thank you so much for your time today. It has been absolutely my pleasure to bring another episode to you. Again, I have a website, Single Moms United Podcast. So if you can't find me on Spotify or iHeart or Apple Podcasts, go to Single Moms United Podcast. All the latest episodes are there, and you can chime in with your thoughts about the episodes. I'd love to hear from you. I really would. You all have a fantastic day. And if you know another single mom out there that you think might value in listening to this podcast, please spread the word. Again, you just don't know how it may impact someone. So please just share with them that there's a podcast out there that's designed to get you thinking about your parenting skills. You have a great day, ladies. Take care. Peace, love, and happiness. Take care.